The memory of place. It is easy to imagine that memories belong only to people, that they are stored in the hidden chambers of our minds, dissolving when no one remains to recall them. But sometimes a place itself remembers. It records events as surely as a phonograph needle etches sound into wax, holding impressions long after those who made them have vanished. Consider the old estate by the river. The grand house has weathered more than a century of storms and seasons. Its bricks are faded, the gardens unruly, but if you stand in the overgrown path, you can sense that something more than emptiness lingers here. The place feels saturated with recollection, as though every wall, every tree, every stone has quietly absorbed what happened around it. The steps up to the front porch still remember the boots that climbed them, the children who sat there swinging their legs in summer dusk. The boards of the floor remember the weight of dances and arguments, the soft tread of someone pacing in the night. Even the air holds a residue, a subtle impression of tobacco smoke and rose water and candle wax. Beyond the house, the river remembers too. It remembers the first peoples who camped along its banks, whose songs drifted over the water. It remembers the furs loaded into boats bound for distant ports, and the arguments in many languages as goods were traded. It remembers the bright banners of war and the hush of surrender. If you stand long enough, listening to the current, you might feel all these stories pressing gently against your awareness, like hands resting on your shoulders. The great rock by the river is perhaps the most faithful witness of all. Its moss-covered surface has felt every footstep, every touch. When a woman sat there in grief, the stone held her sorrow. When a child leapt from it into the shallows, the stone felt her delight. Over decades and centuries, those impressions have not faded. They remain layered in the substance of the place itself. This is how memory can exist outside the mind. Places are like vast unacknowledged archives. They collect the vibrations of what happens within them. Some call this the spirit of place, the sense that something deeper than atmosphere lives in old houses, forests and riverbanks. It is why an abandoned estate can feel alive, why a certain bend in the trail can fill you with a sadness you cannot name. When you visit such places, you are not only walking through space, you are moving through time. Each breath you draw mingles with all the breaths that came before. Each step is layered over countless other steps. You might think you are alone, but you are in the company of all who have ever passed there and of the place itself, which has never forgotten. To remember is to honor what has been, and sometimes the land itself remembers more completely than any person ever could. All it asks is that we pause, listen, and recognize that memory is not only a feature of our minds. It is written into the earth, the walls, the flowing water, always present, waiting to be felt.